Welcome to the Detroit Shrimp and Aquatic Show. We got to make some boxes today for all the incredible purchases that everyone made for the 4th of July. But we got to work on some tanks and we got till 6 o'clock today. I want to get the packages out later in the evening because it's super hot out. But the next couple days are going to be cooler, so you don't have to worry. I won't have to worry about them sitting in a lot of heat. So if I get it to where if I get it around there 6 o'clock, Michelle, if I take it in about 6 o'clock, then they'll do really good because it'll be cooled down already. Where the heck is my cord? Oh, here it is. I got something else to try. I did this stuff the other day and it worked. You know what I should do is not even worry about it. But you know what I should do is use it as my camera today because it's so much better than this computer camera. And the computer is not cheap. That's the jacked up part. Hey, Degenerate Fish Keeper. It's a PA in the house. Ugh. I should have known that was going to happen. But yeah, I got to do some tanks. I mean, not some tanks. I got to do boxes. So we'll get that going. Hold on a second. Copy. Codes. Paste. Learjet. Yeah, I was just watching. Jess's stream, listening to My Fish Tanks Aquatics, listening to Mr. Manifesto tell his I almost got shot over fireworks story. That was pretty good. That was a good one. I remember when times were old and things like that never really happened. So I remember when you could confront someone and not worry about getting shot. All right, hold on. I think we have babies in the. Hold on, before I get too excited. Hold on. We do. Nice. I found one. Nice. We have babies in the boa tank. Yay! I knew I could do it. There's hair algae, the slimy hair algae, and I haven't taken it out. I mean, I clean every once in a while, but I gotta clean the sponge filters and do a little water change on it. But there's a baby in the hair algae sitting there, so I knew the females were pregnant, but I didn't know how far along they are. So they're pretty hooked up. Yeah, it's Manifesto. Yep. It was Mr. Manifesto. It's one for the books. Yeah. And it's really weird because it's Pennsylvania. Hold on. Let me see if I can change my camera to a better camera. I might have to turn the... there it is. All right. But the bad thing is, let me see if I can control it so I can get this bluey crap out of here. I don't know if I'll be able to do it because I just gave permission to the computer to do it. Yeah, see, it says camera not available. We detect the camera is either disconnected or being used by another entity. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, there it is. I was able to fix it. Wow, I could still control it. I just couldn't use the, I just couldn't run the picture to it. Wow, that's super cool. Sweet. Yeah, so it's pretty neato. Yeah, we should get Mr. Manifesto up here. What is this big bad porn stash? So my wife says that she thinks that she said I'm going to fill out an application for a new porn position. But when we went up north the other day, that's what everybody was saying. The porn stash. No, it's and it's not working either. The beard that was growing in, I'm growing it back. I didn't cut it off to get rid of it, but my facial hair grows real slow. I'm not one of those monkeys that gets a bunch of hair super fast. So that's why I didn't cut the mustache out because it's taken me just way too long to do this. So I wanted to see, because it did when I was younger, when I cut the hair off my chin, the white hair would go away because it's not gray, it's just white. It's always been there. And sometimes it wouldn't come in white. So I was like, all right, let me shave it off with the clippers and see if it comes back white. Well, it looks like it's coming back white. So my porn days, I got to get my application in quickly or that's going to be a new goo. Kimmy Pier, I didn't put this in the filters yet. I just used everything that was in there, but we'll see if I need it. I have a whole bunch of it down there. So I just have to put this under my cord. I think everything's good, but this cord's a little jacked up because I could see when I talk sometimes it's a little laggy. Mr. Manifesto, come on up here, Mr. Manifesto. If you can, if you're not doing nothing, if you're still in here, or Leah Jet, you come up here too. If you're not chicken butt. Yep, I said it, chicken butt. Yeah, so they were talking about on their show about about having pea puffers. Well, I've always, I like puffer fish, but I'm not someone, except the catfish, I'm not someone who likes to have just a tank with just one fish in it. It's I don't know. I think it's, it just, I want to see more, or you got to get a lot of puffers, because then, to take up all the room. If not, it seems like a waste of space. So, mark the application. Rush. Yeah, before it grows in. So, I don't know how many times I've tried. And it's like, I don't know if anyone's found themselves in this situation, but you, lunatic fridge, you want Mr. Manifesto.
What is going on, sir?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right.
Mr. Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's it feels good to be able to talk to people from there, since I don't live there anymore, but still it's my roots are there. So
It's the homeland.
It's kind of like you move, I didn't move away, but it's just as you get older, you ask yourself, God, am I ever going to go back? And you know, and
Yeah, right.
I talk to my message my family all the time and everything. And it's my youngest Luke says, "When are we going?" And I'm just like, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But no, I was talking about the how you guys were speaking about having the pea puffers and stuff, or
Oh yeah.
saying the fins got nipped. Well, I used to, I used to kind of look for the answer that I wanted to hear. So I would go into the store and be like, "Hey, this is a pretty neat puffer. These go in a tank full of fish." And then you get that guy in the fish store that says, "Yeah,
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
right, yeah, hey." And then hold on, and then Terry, and then I would be excited because I'd be like, "Yes, I got the answer I wanted." And then I'd bring them home, and they'd do destruction, and then I'd go to my buddy's store. And I would take them there because I was too embarrassed to take them back to the store that I was pushing for that answer I wanted. So I take him back there, and he's like, "And who told you
Yeah.
that any?" He's like, "I've never met a nice puffer." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, I've never met a nice puffer." And so he tells me this, and it's kind of like he slaps me with the glove type thing, and it's it took me a long time to for those bruises to leave before I actually said, "Okay, I won't do it no more." But now he has a little itty bitty. It's a little bigger than the size of a pea now. He's got a Fahaka puffer. I don't know how they came so small or if he gets a huge discount, but
Wow.
it's it's probably 3/8 of an inch to a half an inch long now.
Wow.
And I'm just like, "Oh, it's so cute. Where can I put it?" I don't know, because it'll get eaten in the big tank, and in the small tank, it'll eat everything. So I'm like,
And it'll grow to the size it needs the big tank.
right.
They get big, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but then everything in there, will end up disappearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a hard shell? If so, you will be eaten. If not, I will just take bites out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the pea peppers are the only peppers I've ever really kept, so it's like my only experience. But my experience with them, it took me a long time to figure out that they are, they're not a friendly fish.
Yeah, right.
At least mine aren't.
I know how to solve that problem.
Don't keep pea puffers?
Yeah, don't keep puffers.
Right. And the other bad thing is that I always catch myself doing is another reason I got out of doing snails, because I had everything. I got the snails, they were breeding and everything, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't want to breed mystery snails because the tank has to be a certain temperature. I have to feed them a certain food. I have to do all these water changes because I have to overfeed so much to get them to breed so much. I was like, what am I getting myself into? So I got out of that. The only thing that I feed differently than my normal food that I have is the gulper cap. But I mean, I just went and bought some frozen tilapia for that.
All I know is it's shipping Tuesday, and I am so excited, man. I can't wait.
Yep. I was just.
I hope you're taking care of them little guys.
Yeah, I was asking my wife because I have a little itty bitty box that was actually shipped to me not too long ago with some shrimp in it. And I was like, I wonder if I should put them in here, if I should put them in a big box. I went around yesterday and probably, I went to my buddy's pet store, looked through his whole store, went everywhere because I was thinking, well, instead of cutting in, foam, why don't I just buy, because I just sent out, I had a smaller cooler that I got at my buddy's store because he gets a lot of animal medications. They send them in the coolers. So, I sent out shrimp and that, and it worked great. And I was like, ooh, I need more of these. But then I was like, well, no, looks like I'm going to end up cutting because I can't get them here fast enough, But I do like those coolers. And I was looking yesterday because I buy a lot of stuff from Uline, the company, like packaging stuff and everything. And they have the boxes. And I think the cheap, it was like $5.20 or something per box. But then they make the styrofoam pre-cut, and it's like I don't do enough to buy all this stuff pre-cut, and all this. So I was like, well,
You will eventually.
well, yeah, eventually. But right now, that's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm what is that, ADHD or something, or ADD about how my boxes look. It's I want styrofoam to be perfect. I don't want any air getting into it. And I'm like, so it's all this stuff. And then I'll do it with that, or I'll do it with, I have packing peanuts. I have all different types of foam that I use at times to, I don't know, try to get a look, to get it, like, let's say a customer's response.
Do you have a cat?
Do I have a cat? No. Hell no.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, no.
Because if you have a cat, you'll just randomly find packing peanuts just randomly in places in your house.
No, I don't.
Twist ties. My cat's all about twist ties.
Yeah, you'll find twist ties too.
Yeah. No, I used to have ferrets, and that was enough. I learned my lesson. I was like, but they're just the cutest, smartest things in the world. And it's like, well, I'll go back to something slower. I'll get a dog, but no. So the pack of peanuts are over there. The other thing I like to use, some people, I don't know, I've had people message me and say, hey, just my opinion, but I like to use household insulation, the pink stuff. Look, I'm not asking you to crawl through it and get all itchy, but it's made for a reason. It does things for a reason. It keeps heat out. It keeps cold out. Whatever it is. So
you're talking about the fiberglass stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And if I don't, here's the thing is, we all know, because we're all in the, in the work
trades,
you don't crush, because then it won't work.
Right.
So if I put it in a box and, there's a lot of it, I fold it over, because I like to put it like a plastic bag, in case something leaks, the bag's in there. And if it's folded, it's folded over really nice. Now the package won't bounce around. And when you close the top, it's nice and snug, but it keeps the heat from coming in. It keeps the cold from coming in. And it's kind of, if anything that has to go through it, it takes quite a while for like temperature to go up or to go down. So, but I don't use that crushed up stuff, that can go everywhere. I just really like, using the insulation, because I'm like, wow, it's really protects, even though, because I ask myself seriously, I mean, when it comes scientifically, this is what I always tried to tell people was, if I put the styrofoam sides in there, the bottom, the sides, and the top, okay, one goes behind everything, right? And to lock it in, then you have the bottom, then you have the top. It's not sealed. It's not a sealed container, like, let's say, a solid styrofoam cooler box, and then you tape that line around. I mean, air still will go through that, but it's, very, very little. So that's why I say, well, is it just as easy to pack fish or whatever you're doing, just to fold them nicely in a big piece of insulation and then close it up, compared to a box with styrofoam cut out, just to strengthen the sides? Then you package them and put them in there. Is there actually a difference?
I think there is, to be honest with you.
Well,
I think you're on the right track.
What's your opinion?
I kind of agree with you that the people that do the styrofoam where it's just cut to the sides of the box.
Yeah.
The cracks, or they're not cracks, but the seams.
The seams, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I know guys since, being in the business to where I'm shipping and buying and stuff. There's one guy when I got into this that was trying to get me going, like on Facebook before they stopped selling on there, and then he got me on the Band app, and he has, he goes through a lot of work to try to to get his boxes, and like he does a heat test. He has one of them guns, and he'll take a plastic, breather bag, put it in his boxes, how he makes them, tape it all shut, set it outside in the sun for however long, and then he checks it, to see the temperature, and his boxes do really good, which is all fine and dandy. But when it comes down to it, what's simpler for me to take a big thick piece of, let's say R30 or 15, pull it apart in the center, stick your shrimp in there or fish, close it back up, stick it in a box really nice, put all the free stuff on top, close it up, tape it, send it on.
Wait a minute. I'm going to get free stuff too?
Well, I mean, it's stickers. One thing I wanted to tell you. One thing I'm gonna send you Solawesi salt. In case you wanna make this first, I'm gonna send you a good scoop of this because you're only doing it in a 5-gallon. So I'm gonna send you a scoop of this, and you decide whether you wanna put them in your water or if you wanna take half of that water and put it in RO water or something and put this in just for shits and giggles.
I can do that. I do have an RO unit. I can mix up a batch.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying because
that's what you're keeping them in, right?
Yeah, I've been told by who I got it from. I can keep them in like my wastewater because the minerals are so high. All I have to do is water it down. But I've never done it because like I was talking, Chevy Fish called me the other day and stuff, and I tell him, I just get a little scared, because seeing shrimp that can go from putting crystal reds, crystal blacks, tigers and all that in tap water, everybody says, oh yeah, you can do it. And I see it, but I'm like, do I want to do it? It's worrisome to me. I'll just keep them in this stuff. So that's why I can send you this, send you, in a plastic bag. I'll scoop some out so you can make some. I mean, it's only 5 gallons worth, but and then you can put it in, and then you can. What I did and what I've done a million times is when I go to do a water change, I just use the wastewater on the backside, and I'll just drip in I'll water it down so the parameters are right. I make sure the pH is high, and then I just put that in. Or I just run it like this with this all the time. But 95% of the time, dude, I don't even use this because I don't need to. It's just the TDS goes up because the lights are on and you feed them and stuff. So I just keep putting RO water in there just to bring the TDS down. And all I do is make sure that my pH is up and the GH, is up. Because if your GH is up, then your KH is up. And just check your pH all the time. And if your pH goes low, just get you a little baby dripper. They got them. The best place I find them is like a pharmacy. They sell the syringes, you can suck it out and just put some. Yeah, just a couple drips at a time. Don't go putting a bazillion in there. But if you do a water change, then do it like that. But the water change, I'll put the water right to 8.2. So I'll put RO, make it 8.2, and I'll put it in right like that. I don't put no minerals in, nothing, because if the TDS is high, I want to bring it down.
Yeah, if your pH is 8.2, you've got some minerals in your water.
Well, no, I have to make it 8.2. My pH is not 8.2. That's why I have the API up.
Right.
The pH up because my pH is low. So that's why I have to boost it. But
my tap water it runs between 8 and 8.4.
Oh yeah,
it averages out kind of about the 8.2 actually, which is kind of funny. I know. Well, I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, that's kind of what my pH is out of the tap.
Yeah, but that's anyways. That I'm gonna send you some just in case you get a inkling to want to use it or what have you. It takes 2 seconds to dissolve.
I did order some Bacter AE because of you, but it's not going to get here till Thursday.
Yeah, Bacter AE is good if you. put it in. Just put it in, like me. I just mix it in my powder foods and stuff. But you can go around and just put it in the tanks. But for the solo AC, yeah, it really helps on growing extra biofilm.
Yeah, I was using it in my Neo tanks. I was using it with my gobies too, the tanks that they're in, and the Hillstream loaches.
Yeah, fish like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's oh, hey Terry, those striped fish. I can't remember what you call them. If you go on Predatory Fins, I don't know if you guys ever see that guy. He's the guy in Florida that gets all that monster fish that you can order. But if you go on there, he sells those. If they're the same exact ones, I saw those.
I don't think I need any more.
Oh no, I just thought they were cool. I was like, oh wow, that somebody sells them, because I didn't know where you could get something like that. I've never seen them. So
yeah, that's.
Eventually, against my better judgment, eventually that tank will have just big fish in it. I'm gonna move all the little fish out and put some big fish in there.
Yeah, big fish are fun. Little fish are, I don't know. Little fish are really pretty to look at. They're great. But I guess if you have one of each, it's probably a really good balance,
Yeah, if you can find big fish that don't eat little fish, but that's kind of not the way the world works.
Have a tank for big fish, have a tank for little fish. Have like one next to each other like that. I think it's a good balance to be able to look at really big fish, even if you only have one or two, and a tank pack full of smaller fish,
Because even though the banded Leporinis, the striped ones in that tank, are predominantly vegetarian, they have already killed one of my Denison barbs, which kind of really peed me off. Because I don't know if you guys have ever priced Denison barbs, but Denison barbs are not the cheapest fish out there.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
So when I saw them chewing on it, and yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, they're predominantly vegetarian. That doesn't mean they're totally vegetarian.
Now, is the Roseline shark the same thing? Are they just different names for this?
Yeah, Roseline shark, Denison barb is the same fish.
Okay, I didn't know that. I always thought they were two different fish. Okay.
Jenny Lynn, Joe McKenzie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's so many. Hey, can you turn that on for me and aim it over here? Sure. Thanks. There's so many cool little fish. I'm supposed to, orders coming from my buddy sending it to the pet store tomorrow, so I'll probably go up tomorrow. That's fine. Thank you. And he's got some itty bitty little fish that I'm gonna get, because like my orange really tank has the seed shrimp in it, and they're having so many babies. I don't want it messing up. I don't want them eating all the biofilm and stuff, and then the babies are suffering from it.
What up, shrimp people? Kenny.
Kenny, yeah, what's up? Topic. Yeah, so I want to get some of those, because I have those the little ones over here. Now I can't think of what the rice fish. I have 3 white rice fish in there that I could move over there, and they'd probably be happy, because when I put them in here, there was stuff for them to eat. Now there isn't, so I have to feed them. So I'd probably just scoop them out of there and put them in over there and let them take care of it. But the tetras, they're these little itty bitty, little skinny orange. They're orange and they're beautiful. I asked them, I said, will those get any bigger? I mean, they have the body like the size of pencil lead right now. They're slender like that, and they're real small. And but he's got some of them, and he's got some other type of fish in another tank that I'm thinking of just getting and putting in, because I like to sea fishing with the shrimp. So
yeah.
Well, and the shrimp tanks always do good. I mean, I've had guppy packed tanks and had shrimp in them, and if they take out a shrimplet once in a blue moon, I mean, who's to hate them?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I think even shrimp will take out shrimplets if they can get them.
Shrimp take out shrimp. So, I kept them banging up on them all the time. Oh, you're weak in oh, you just molted? Yeah, we're killing you. It's like a pack of bears and stuff, you know. But I'm serious.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Right. It's rough in a tank when you have no place to run to. That's why I put all this lava rock in every tank, because I'm like, I got to help these guys out.
Give them every little advantage you can give them.
I'm serious. Yeah. I mean, they don't have swords and all this to protect themselves, you know. So true. I got, you know, and LRB, I've listened to that guy, you know, for so long, and he always said, rock piles, rock piles, rock piles.
Rock piles.
Right. Well, the rock piles work, but the only bad thing why I got rid of them is, and here I have some here, just for looking at. You probably won't be able to see it, but anyways. So these are flatter. They're river rock, but they're black. So, anyways, it doesn't matter the color. When they're placed in here, if they're placed really tight and you get a rock pile, the crap gets in there.
Yeah.
And then it don't come out.
It doesn't come out, right?
Yep. There's not a lot of area for the shrimp to get in there and feed on it, you know, and it's plecos and everything. So, when I started in shrimp, oh gosh, I used to have hundreds of shrimp when I used rock piles. You know, I mean, it's the truth. You know, Shrimp Jesus does not lie. It's the truth.
No, he's definitely got on to some of those rock piles.
Right? He does.
It definitely hides.
Right. So this time around, you know, it was only my Neo tanks mainly, but I noticed that you know the shrimplets weren't all surviving. So I was like, you know, what am I doing wrong, or what can I do? I don't understand. And I was like, well, then I talked to Robbie at Blue Crown, and I told him, I said, look, I switched all these tanks to sand. Now I'm having problems with the baby survival. And he said, well, because see, my tanks are different. Like I try to tell everyone, I don't keep planting them, just moss. Because when I go to scoop out shrimp, when people want shrimp, you know, if I pull out a plant to get it out of the way, it destroys the whole tank.
Yeah, right.
So
and it gets all cloudy and you can't see anything for like 2 days.
Right. So I need to keep it as open as possible so they can thrive and I can pick them out of there. Well, he said, and it was the same thing I was thinking, but I just didn't think of it in the sand way. He said with sand being so small, it's very hard for bacteria biofilm to grow on those little itty bitty pieces of sand granules. So I need something larger that it can start to adhere to and grow on. I was like, man, you know, I didn't think about that because, I mean, moss, it'll do it in there, but in my opinion, there's a difference between moss and plants. I don't know. It's just moss is moss, but like plants, it seems like there's more on it or something, or the ability, because it's not, you know, there's nothing getting to the inside of the moss.
Yeah, right.
It's in the water, you know, but the plant, you know, is all, you know.
I get you. It's kind of more like what's the word? I don't know. Like it's kind of like a bush. You can crawl in there and like hang out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And hide in the bushes.
Yeah, and the wind blows through it. You know, leaves get inside of it, and you're like, how do the leaves get in here? And you're cleaning it out all the time. But with the moss, when you got like Christmas moss, like me, it's a really heavy, compact, and nothing's getting in it. So it's so that's why I decided, okay, well, I'm going to do the lava rock because I'm not going to go with the crushed lava rock. I'm going to go with the lava rock and put it in there and just leave huge gaps so other stuff can get in there. And, you know,
that's a great idea.
Yeah. If it works better. And the shrimp are on it all the time. So something's working or they're just walking over it to get to the other side of the road.
Yeah, shrimp are always like, I mean, they're like micro feeders, right? So, and like that lava rock's got all sorts of little nooks and crannies for things to grow in and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm probably loving it.
Right. And I think that could have played a part in why, because he told me when I had the gravel, each piece of gravel, you know, on the upside is growing beneficial bacteria on it. So, and then the shrimplets have places to go down and hide. Well, in sand, they have no place to hide. And there's not much food growing on top of the sand, So I was like, all right, do it like this. And everything, and they seem to be happier, but still missing the plants. I think there's still there's still a lack there, but if I can go without plants, then we'll all do better. But that's why I go with the Sawasha tank more than anything. So all the mosses in all my tanks are slowly being deleted because the Sawasha tank's being brought down because it's like bigger, like we were talking about, like that shrub.
Oh, right.
So I'll put that in every tank, and then the mosses themselves will just go into the hard water where they belong. But they do incredible in soft water, so.
Sorry about that. No, I had to go feed the animals. My dogs were giving me that look like, if you don't feed us really soon, we're going to start gnawing on your ankle.
Well, you better get on it.
Yeah, I had to. And why do you want to cry, man? I feel for you, dude. I'm here for you.
Now I really want to cry.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't want to ask. I was just like, all right, I'm not.
So what's up, man?
No, it was just a joke. Dee and Geek Boy are picking on me, so I laughed, and I said I'm only laughing to keep
Hey,
from
no
crying.
picking on Jason. He's sore. Gotta cut him a little slack.
I was joking around, man.
Oh, but Mr. Manifesto, I want to what you were saying about how you came out your house and stuff.
Yeah.
It's no, I just wanted to say when I was growing up, my dad used to take us down to the old neighborhood and stuff, and it was only once in a blue moon you would ever hear somebody, having a gun.
Yeah, right.
And it was usually, those people, they were really, really hot-headed. But then, how it's so far and few in between that ever happens. And it's a sad thing because, we're not ones to go out. You just don't want to go out and get in a street fight anymore.
Yeah, right.
When you come out of your house and you're fueled by what's going on and you're seeing red and you're just like, mother, and you're trying to relay to this person something and they go, oh, it's going to be like that. And then they go, get a gun. It's sad that, times have changed to where that's more apt to happen than it did when we were kids. Whatever happened to the days you get in a fight and two people would walk their own ways, you'd leave and that would be it, or you'd fight again the next day because the guy that got beat didn't want to get beat.
Yeah, he came back for more.
Yeah. So those, nothing ever happened. You go home, your parents be like, "What happened?" I got in a fight with friends. Well, who won?
Right, exactly.
I came home from school
and you better say you
black eyes and a busted nose. They were like, "What happened?" I was like, "I fell."
Right. But the thing is it's when there's a chance something bad could happen because you walked out your house. It's now look, my wife was in the Army and everything. I just look at it this way. Look, if you would have had a gun, there's a possibility, like you said, two people could have been dead. When you're angry, bad things can happen. So if you don't have it with you, then if that other person does, maybe it was the best situation that you didn't have because it might have went south. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know.
Because like you said, you went out there pissed off and you were the flame to his firecracker.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I set that situation right. I know. I have no doubt what I did, and I realized it after I did it. I'm like, oh shit, what did I do?
But just think if you came out and you had a gun or anything, he probably would have shot you. Because if he was wanted as bad as the cops were looking for him and they knew exactly who he was, he probably had nothing to lose anyways.
Exactly.
So, but that's the bad thing is, even if you come out of your house upset and be like, hey, get that out of here, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how many movies do you watch when the father comes out screaming, get out of here, and everyone,
exactly.
they're like, yes, you, and they leave, but no one pulls a gun. But
nowadays, they just pull out a gun and start shooting, right?
Society's got to a bad spot to where now you have to question yourself, God, I went out there mad. Oh my gosh.
Look at how many road rage incidents there are now.
That's what I'm saying. It's society's gone. Not that it's really changed, but I think people look at it and go, what the hell? Yeah, when before, I think people were more afraid of the repercussion. Now it's not like anyone's afraid of what'll happen to them if they do what they do. You smash somebody's car and drive them off the road, and you go to, then you go to court. What are they really going to do? When back in the day, I think, stricter parents and stricter families and households and stuff kept you like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. So I don't know where it changed or what changed, but it just became
something changed. I don't know. I guess, man.
But even think about it. If you're out with your wife, kids or whatever, if somebody gets loud and stuff, you want to turn around and just, do whatever. But does that person have a gun on? And will they say, oh, well, he came at me, so I had the right to shoot him? Well, so you're at a point now, you're not bowing down because you're less of a man, but do you bow down just to make sure that you and your family get out of there alive and everyone makes it home? Because, it's, hey, I'm all for carrying guns. Hey, whatever, carry them, you want to carry them. But when it comes down to that, when you bow down and make it home,
fireworks is not a situation that you need to break out a weapon.
Dude,
no, that's what I'm saying.
And clearly.
Because somebody cut you off in traffic is not the time to just start shooting.
Exactly.
Right. Now,
you can be pissed off. Don't get me wrong. The guy might be an a-hole for cutting you off and, a big jerk and the whole thing. But that doesn't mean you got to start freaking ending people's lives over it.
That's the old, you could be, I could be 100% in the right and still be dead, right? So,
right. But see, the guy in the street.
Plenty of rape people, they're dead.
This is what we're saying. He could have bowed down, took the yelling at on the back of his neck and said, all right, and been upset that he was just talked to like some idiot
like school kid.
Like fireworks.
Right.
And then took his stuff down the way and it would have been fine, and you could have been 20 minutes later, God, maybe I shouldn't have yelled at him like that. And the guy could have been like, wow, I probably shouldn't have been lighting him off in front of his house.
Right.
But
that's kind of usually how it went down. Like you realize, like, oh man, that guy was yelling at me because I was an idiot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
it's always after the fact.
Right.
It's always
exactly.
after the fact anymore these days. Yeah.
Hopefully you can think about it in jail.
Look, people are going to get pissed off at people. It happens. Somebody in your life is going to piss you off.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean your first go-to has got to be, I got to end his life.
Well, or anything, screaming at somebody. I'm like Mr. Manifesto. I get, that's why
I have no doubt I instigated it.
Right, but I do yell and get up. I'll snap like that, but that's why I take medication to keep me kind of calmer, But so I feel what you're saying. But that's the thing is I don't need to even get that upset. I've quit jobs and screaming out through my hard hat off the hill. I'm like, I'll whoop you right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the throwing the hard hat thing really well.
Right. But see,
I've seen it on several occasions.
Right. But you never once thought about pulling a gun.
Right. And the whole thing is it's just, working 712s. I'm so stressed out. Just throwing the hard hat just made me feel like, I won the lottery. I'm like, yes, hard hat. And everybody's looking at me going, ooh, what's going to happen? So when I was listening to your story, I was like, oh, that's exactly what I would have done. Went out there. Who do you think you are? Get on. Then seen the gun and said, yeah, all right. Hey, go ahead. Light them off. Whatever you want.
Yeah, right.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just, I just wanted to say that it's I don't know, it's kind of bad where things go these days. And, even where people choose to make those decisions. It's just bad that society's getting to an area. I mean, even look at, it's just like rioting, when stuff happens and when, the virus started and everything, all the negative things that happen, it's like, wow, society, it's just, what is it? Target says if somebody breaks into our store, we won't press charges because we understand. And it's like, I don't really.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
We're accepting to it, and it's like, I think instead of sending money overseas and helping everybody out, maybe you should help the people out here so people aren't in such dire straits to pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly. I mean, look, for a guy who grew up in Pennsylvania every summer of his life, look at all the coal mines that shut down. My family worked all those coal mines, Greenwich, all of them through Pennsylvania. They all lost their jobs, and they all, most of them just sat at home because there's no education. They had no ability to do anything, and the jobs that we're hiring were paying at the time, paying like $4 an hour, $5 an hour, and they were making $18 an hour, all driving Corvettes and had cars in their garages. I mean, back in the day, they were pretty loaded, and now you're going to go flip burgers for $3 an hour.
Yeah, you brought up a bunch of, in that one little bit of ranting, you brought up several issues, and the Midwest is known as the Rust Belt for a reason.
Right.
Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana. I mean, we were all big industry, and big industry is dying, especially the steel mills, of course. And there's definitely an issue there where our parents, you could have a high school education, walk to U.S. Steel, which is really big in Pennsylvania. Or was.
Yeah, it's here. Michigan's got a U.S. Steel down on the river.
You could just walk in, or Detroit. Fish Tropic brought up GM, General Motors. If you were from a place like that, you could go with a high school education, walk into GM or U.S. Steel, and get a job that could support a family.
For sure.
Right. Whatever.
Whereas nowadays, to support a family, both parents have to work. And if you only have that high school education, you're exactly right. What are you going to do? Flip burgers for $4 an hour? What's the minimum wage?
You figure back then too. There's probably a lot of kids that quit school and went to work in the mines because the mines. What do they care? Put a guy on the ground, lay on this machine, run it, and that's it. You can show a guy, how to lay, because they had to lay on their machines because the ceiling height was only 4 feet. So they had to lay back flat on the machine and control the machine. Well, you can show anybody how to do that. It's kind of like running stuff on a farm. And you're messing with a bunch of farm boys, so, hey, run all these machines. But then when you take their jobs away and they're living these really good lives and they're just like, all right, no more coal. You guys have nothing. I remember he was trying to get a job at a speaker company, started with a J. I can't remember, but it was like $9 an hour or something, and they wouldn't hire him because he didn't have any qualifications. I was like, what? You can't go put a speaker in a box, But then they had to go to Virginia for that. And but anyways, the reason I brought that up is just how society gets hit, and now you're in a situation of, well, now what do I do? So it's just it's bad situations all around, I guess. I mean, we could probably talk about this all day and show up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You know what gets me is, it's not a societal problem, but inflation has destroyed people's incomes. I do the exact same thing my dad did. I mean, honestly, the exact same thing, and mostly for the exact same employer. And my buying power is less than his buying power was. He made less money, but his buying power with the money he earned was bigger than what I make more money than he did, but my buying power was less.
Right, because a gallon of milk was like 50 cents, whereas opposed to like $5.
Right,
it's like 1,000 times the inflation it was back then.
Yeah, I think my dad, when he started,
just haven't kept up.
He started Ford's because my dad used to do a whole bunch of stuff, but when he started Ford's, he was making $2, and I think he said $2.60 or $2.80 an hour. And when he retired, 33 years later, I mean, it was like I think $38, $39 an hour. So it's like you started at like. He said he paid $16,000 for the house that I grew up in.
$16,000 for a house.
And when it was paid off, he said when it was paid off, he ended up paying like $80,000. Because back then, I mean, making $2 an hour, paying off $16,000. I mean, what are you going to give him? 3 cents a month? So it was kind of crazy. What ended up happening over the amount of time, over those years.
The coal industry is never going to die totally because you got to have it. You have to have carbon for steel. So the only way to get carbon, well, it's not the only way, but the only efficient way to get carbon is to burn coal. So the coal industry will never die totally because we need it for steel. But, yeah, we don't use it as a fuel. I don't know how many coal-fired generation stations they have anymore, but they're dying rapidly.
Well, yeah, too, you got to figure out or think about this, too. Like my aunt's house, she had a coal boiler, or coal burner. So
right, to heat.
The basement, holy hell, the steps going down the stairs in Pennsylvania were like maybe 14 inches wide, and you had to turn sideways and go down into a hole underneath the house where this big boiler was. And we had to shovel the coal in a little window onto the ground. But she'd go down there every morning and stoke this fire. And here was the thing, is the pipes went there was like maybe 3 pipes, and that was it. And what happened is just heat rises. So she had these big metal grates on the floor. And so in the morning, they would go stand on the metal grate because the heat comes up that one and then rises to the floor above to heat the upstairs. But you got to figure heat rises. So is the heat coming out and filling the rooms? Yeah, no, it takes a long time to heat a house with coal. But it was crazy stuff.
Chewy brought up an interesting comment, and it's interesting to me because I know exactly how it happens. I'll give you an example. 2 years ago and 3 years prior to that, I worked in one spot. It was an 84-inch rolling mill. That's where they take the slabs, what they call a steel slab, and roll it into usable, whatever the customer requires, steel.
Right.
And it turns into a big coil, and they ship it to the customer. Excuse me. I'm going to tell you what. They didn't have any warning whatsoever. All they did was everything was running as normal, and then one day they said, everybody get out, we're done. And 2 days later, they welded the door shut. I mean, they, honest to God, welded the door shut. and they walked away. They said, "We're done. We're not making money." This particular plant also had another rolling mill that was evidently more profitable, so they just, bam, that was it. So they don't do any cleanup. Once a process is no longer profitable, they just walk away.
Oh, you don't
They
even
don't
know.
do anything. They
To go in Detroit,
away.
what everyone sees, if you go downtown, it's like all the big banks and everything. Everyone that has all the money down there, they just chose the area and they redid everything right down the main road. Redid everything. I mean, the new Red Wings Stadium, Little Caesars. You got the Tiger State. You got Ford Field. You got everything right there. It's like a carnival park now, and everything around it is like brand new. I mean, it's crazy. But the thing you don't see is one block over,
Right.
where these shops and stuff are, where, like you're saying, where they just up and closed the doors one day, and they said, "Okay, well, we're done. We sold it off or something." Or here was the other big thing: is the city knew. And they know what their plans are for the future, where they're expanding, and what properties they want. So they're going in and they buy places, and places just shut down, and the city sits on all this property. Because when they want to expand, like the owner of Little Caesars, he's like, "Oh, well, out the front window, I want, the Tiger Stadium. Out the back one, I want Little Caesars, So it's like they just wherever they want, but then everything that surrounds all that is just, it's desolate, crumbling. It's just like a war zone.
It's like a facade, right? Yeah, it's like what is it?
Sure. Yeah.
Pyongyang.
It is. And they say, "Oh, look at Detroit. It's
labor
beautiful.
camps
Come
right
down
behind
here."
the walls.
Yeah. Because I tell people all the time, I'm like, they're like, "Oh, Detroit seems so safe now." And I'm like, all right. Here's the thing: is
Mad Max.
this is how you upset people. All these people that have lived in Detroit forever are being pushed out because these people coming in want their property, so they're squeezing them out, and they're saying, "Hey, if you move, we'll give you a house. Hey, if you do this, we'll do this." But let's say they push them 5 miles over. So then those people aren't in the vicinity. I tell people all the time, look, here's the thing. You can drive downtown, but don't think those people don't come across that, come back those 5 miles and aren't angry at what happened to them. And they won't, break in your car, rob you, steal your stuff. I'm like, look, Detroit ain't changed. They just repainted around the picture a little bit and fluffed it up. I mean, people get robbed when they're leaving the Lions game at Ford Field. They get mugged because a guy and a girl will be walking and they park down the side street down in one of these lots that you have to pay. Well, once you pay, those guys leave.
Once the game starts, everybody leaves, right? Exactly.
And so you're walking back all by yourself in the middle. And the minute you go from it's that movie like with Jim Carrey, you're in this beautiful land, but the minute you cross that rail, now you're in the black and white, and you're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Broken down building, and that's where your car's parked. And then when you go over there, that's so it's it's something else. And it's kind of like, I would say, I haven't been to Pittsburgh, but I've heard a lot of stories about it, and I would think that it's kind of like the same as over there. I mean, I've been to Chicago one time. Yeah, I don't ever want to go back.
Somebody tried to mug me in Pittsburgh once.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
At a bus station.
Yeah. Chicago scares the crap out of me. I went to Chicago one time. Holy crap. There's guys on the street with long trench coats. "Hey man, you want to buy some of this?" I'm like, "What?" And there's like cops right in the center of the road, and I'm like, "No." And then you get on the L train and stuff, and people are staring at you like they want to, steal money in your back pocket, and you're not wearing clothes with pockets. You're like, whoa, wait, what's going on? You know, it's just, it's crazy. But do you blame the people or do you blame society?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know either.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I guess you're in charge of your own actions. So
yes, you are. And that's what I'm saying with you. That's why I'm glad it didn't turn out bad.
Yeah,
you know. But that's
trust me. I already got the lecture from my wife, man.
Yep, we got to curb our attitudes.
I already got the lecture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always say if it doesn't hurt me or my family, then whatever you do is whatever you do. You know, but somebody lighting off fireworks right outside your door, now it's becoming an irritation.
What is even that, man? It was like the stuff was like falling on the house too, like
that. You're right. You got to protect your asset. You know
exactly.
But here we go again. It's falling on the house, which could cause a fire, which could destroy your home, which could potentially hurt your family. So here we go again. I try not to get upset unless it has to do with me or my family.
Right.
So I wouldn't say you're in the wrong.
Right. I just could have went, I guess, whatever. It's all hindsight now.
You could have stuffed those big muscles. You could have stuffed your muscles back up your sleeve.
Yeah.
And went out there all,
Or everybody's like, you should have called the cops, but that's the guy who just drove away, right? he didn't seem to care much. The guy was in the middle of the street setting off fireworks.
Right. Yeah, because they don't look at it the same way. But
yeah, exactly.
Just be glad that Well, I'm saying more or less.
I didn't say there was accountability in society today. I just said that you should police yourself is what I should say.
Right. Correct. Yeah. There you go. That's a good one. Yep. Police yourself. Right. Yep. Which is that's the comment of the day. Police yourself.
Exactly.
Yes. Woo! All right. Yeah. What Patty says, the macho bull crap is destroying this country.
That's right.
Hey, there's no more mafia and stuff anymore. So I mean, somebody's got to do it, right? Who takes up that place? All the tough guy stuff is gone. All the fear in the streets is over.
Yeah, okay.
You're right, I know.
At least in the mafia, you know what I mean? It was like a certain level.
Right. Hey, I'm sorry.
Get in the business.
I liked the mafia. That was pretty cool stuff. I don't know. I was just always attracted to that.
Oh, yeah.
Type of stuff. That was kind of cool. I mean, not hurting people, but just FU government type deal.
Money.
Yeah, we own the cops, and we're doing what we want. I like that kind of thing.
Gambling and booze and whatever.
Right. It was just, hey, leave us alone. We'll leave you alone. And look, everyone loves us. Yeah. So I always thought that was cool. I'm a big mafia movie guy. So if you ever seen the movie John Gotti with Armand Assante, it's got to be the best movie in the world. If you're a mafia movie watcher, Armand Assante, it is sick how he redid John Gotti. It was just, he's got to be the best one ever because so many people have tried it and it was terrible. But this one's got all the big name actors in it, which makes it like the best of the best for me. Anyways, I've never found one better.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really. I've seen it. Oh yeah. Just look it up. Armand Assante, John Gotti, and even the photo of him on the front cover. I own 2 copies of the DVD, but the photo on it, it's so tough. And he's got that deep, raspy voice, and like the people that were chosen for the parts. When you call somebody Big Paul and they're skinny, then he's not skinny. He's Skinny Paul. But when you put a heavy set person in that position, it just all the big actors in there are really, it makes it good. Yep, it was a top-notch one. So
I got an AFK sec. I got somebody at the door.
All right, tell him we said hi. It's probably Jimmy Johns. Learjet. Brian used to be called the Iceman. No, I just liked them. It was a part. Ever since growing up, I thought mafia movies were cool. I thought Godzilla was cool too, but Learjet, Miss Learjet, need something from Brian Shop. Are we any closer to the design for the shirt? If we are, say yes. I don't need to know what it is. I just don't know if you've talked to because Pumpkin King won't tell me, which is good. I don't want to know till it's over, but inquiring minds want to know. Boy, that is a cool ship in Mr. Manifesto's tank. Yes, I now have ideas. Okay. Go watch the documentary on Iceman. Crazy stuff. Oh, no, I've seen it. I've watched, believe me, I watch still to this day. I have I have a mafia themed bathroom. The half bath over here has got, pictures, all sorts of stuff. Because, the Purple Gang was out of Detroit. They're the ones that ran the booze and stuff in Detroit before old boy came down from Chicago. I'm
back.
All right. Yeah, I was just Fish Tropic said to go watch a documentary about the Iceman. I've seen that.
Iceman?
Yeah, you ever see that?
That sounds really familiar. Why do I know?
He worked for the Mafia. He was an Irish guy that worked for the Mafia, and he did a lot of their killings. So more or less, they just, hey, go kill Frank. Here's $100,000. Okay.
I got a buddy who's real big in serial killer kind of guys. He likes reading about them, doing all this stuff, and he's always telling me all this crazy stuff. Like some of these mafia guys. There was one of them. I don't know which one it was, but he was I guess it's when Crossbows first came around. He drove around somewhere in New York City, just rolled down the window and hey lady, I gotta ask you something. And she leaned up and just shot her in the face with a crossbow and drove off. I'm
wow, that's crazy.
Those are the kind of people that are out there, man.
Wow. Oh yeah. Even back then it was worse. There's
house people.
But see, and the weird thing is how they hid it from primetime television or anything.
Oh yeah. That wasn't major news. Yeah, it was probably on the another news or the last page in the newspaper or whatever.
Right. I don't think anyone wanted to report on it because they'd get whacked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's crazy. Yeah. Now, what's the one I saw too? I watched. I think I watched the special where they talked to John Gotti Jr. And he talked about how he went and seen his dad in prison before he died, and how he was, that's when he told him he didn't want to be, in the mafia no more. I was like, dang.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're lucky you walked out of there. Yeah. I was always. I I'm Star Wars, all that stuff too. So I get into those type of movies.
Yeah. It's not all about just murdering people.
Nah. No, it's I know it's fixed, or I know it's just a movie and stuff, and not all information in this movie's true, but
yeah, exactly, dramatized or whatever.
Right,
yeah, but still at the same time,
right.
Probably worse than what they actually happened.
Right, but it's to see it and go, wow. Even though I'm sure a lot of it's made up, or some of it's just exploded from what actually happened. But to still see things like I was saying, that never got reported, and you're like, oh my gosh, what? It's just, some people like zombie movies, it's, I don't know. But, yeah, Boston Strangler was Loki.
Ghost Rider from Top Gun, what?
Is the design. Oh,
negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full.
Ghost Rider. I love that comic.
Yeah, for my shirt, JK, joke.
Oh, is that? Oh.
Yeah, for the new T-shirt, I had that stream, and Pumpkin King donated the most money for Learjet to put the new car on the shirt. But no one knows what it is yet, because just them two are collaborating.
Oh, I see.
1972 Barracuda. That's my guess.
Yeah, it went up to $175, I think. Yeah,
Wow.
$175. So it all goes to Leah, because she's the one that makes the shirt. I don't take any of it, but it's to help out another person in the hobby.
Right on.
I don't. It's just she's on. She's a moderator of mine, but she moderates a lot of channels. She helps out a lot of people. She's on the app stuff and everything, or it belongs to the groups and stuff, and so I just try to think of ways to give back. And yeah, she's designing my shirt, but she'd more or less do it for free too, So it's just a way that I can give back without, breaking my bank,
Yeah, exactly right.
What the heck did I miss? Were you guys talking about zombie movies?
I don't think so. We were talking about movie genres, I think. I think I might have been kind of somebody went in the chat, went down that road. We were talking about mafia movies, and then we started with, what was the other one? Star Wars.
Yeah.
You think I'm funny?
And I did say that.
Funny how?
People watch zombie movies. I watch mafia movies.
Like I'm here to amuse you?
You got a notification.
Could be. It could be. But, yeah. So, yeah, I have to. While we're on here, for anyone that watches this, vintage scope free, but you're not saying what the scope is for. Is that for, that's not for power. Oh, maybe it is. Like to control vintage scope free Jim to. Oh, that's his number. That's cool. I wanted to say, what did I want to say? Oh, thank you to everyone that participated in our sale.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how it went.
Bought stuff from us. For our first sale, this is our first one. I mean, I've done other stuff to where, like once, twice, where I'd import shrimp and sell them real cheap. It went okay. We are not complaining. We got smiles on our faces. But I just wanted to say thanks to everyone that participated, that bought something, even if you didn't buy anything. All the comments were super cool. I don't know. It was cool to see the amount of people that even just left a comment and said, hope you have a good one. We hope it's a good turnout. And the thing is it's not the money, like I said, every bit of the money helps. It helps tremendously to even to have a sale 20%. But the happiness for me is that, people are going to get, who don't have them, they're going to get our shrimp, in their tanks and stuff. And that's the excitement, because it's now,
Well, I got to be honest with in my situation, that sale helped me out tremendously.
Well, and I want to say thanks, Terry. Even if I didn't get anything from it, the amount of times that you spoke about it, put it out there, I appreciate it very much. So I want to say thank you for that.
And I appreciate a good deal when I can find one.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing is, we've been breeding the shrimp for so long. It's not, I mean, my tanks won't be empty by running a 20% discount, so,
that's cool.
It helps. It more or less helps, if you take 10 shrimp out of a tank, then the shrimp are like, oh, wow, something changed. And then, there's like less shrimp and they're like, ooh, we have to refill. We need to have baby. It's really weird how to say that. But then, some tanks still have so many babies. Like I got 2 tanks doing it right now. It's like, where are they all coming from? But the minute the females say, okay, that's enough, it will literally stop, and it could stop for a year.
They self-regulate?
Oh, yeah. But
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. Sulawesi, it's a 10-gallon. Like I said, if they're not next to each other like this eating, they're the happiest that way. So they just continue. But, oh, yeah, regular Caridina and Neo-Caridina, they will control to the size of the tank because, another thing, males if your tank is male heavy, the females get freaked out.
There's actually scientific articles out there that guppies will do that.
Yeah.
And some cichlids will self-regulate as well.
I have my Galaxy Red fish bones over here. I've had them when I got them. They were over there before I set up this room here. I had it strewn out really. Yeah, I mean it was nice, but it was all throughout my basement. And so then I moved them over here, but they had only bred once, and these were expensive shrimp, and they still are. But I was like, gosh, they're not breeding. They only did once, and only so many, shrimplets live, blah, blah, blah. So I was talking with Dan Slee, and he's like, look, do you have another tank? I said, yeah. He's like, I don't know. Take 10 of them out of there, put them in the other tank, try to get all females if you can, and a couple males. So no sooner did I take shrimp out of that tank, put them right over in that tank. It was like 2 weeks later, the tanks were packed with shrimplets. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. And they went nuts for the longest time. Now all the brakes, kicked in. Now I've been pulling the pintos out because if they're Galaxy pintos, if they have the spots on the cheeks but don't have the fish bone, if they don't have the line up their back and it just goes across, then they're a pinto. So I pull those out. And I pull them out from that tank over there. And the more you pull, you get males out and all that. There's less males. Then the females start to relax. And they're like, okay, now there's less stress. When the female lets off the scent, what you could call a pheromone or whatever, when they let off that scent and you see this big swarm of males going around, you got too many males. You need to get in there, scoop them suckers out, so the females will start to relax and allow themselves, to get buried. Because when they molt, shrimp are very susceptible to being killed. So when they molt, that's when they need a place to hide. They need to go somewhere. So that's when they freak out. So if there's so many males that are trying to get that female, that it scares them a lot. So that's why rock piles are really important, anything where they can hide, all that stuff. But they will control. If it gets too male heavy, it'll shut it down. And good luck trying to get more shrimp out of them.
No, that's actually true in the guppy hobby as well. If you have a skewed ratio with males, more males than females, the females are just constantly getting harassed, and they don't do well.
Right. So that's why if you have tanks and you can break them up, now you just started another colony, small. Take out 10 shrimp, put them in there, and then quickly, because you've already had them, they've been living in your water for who knows how long, and if the tank's ready. I mean, you could take water out of here, put it in that tank, then add some remineralized water. So they're more or less going into the same surroundings, just 5 feet over. And then bam, all of a sudden the females are like, oh, wait a minute. Where's all them jerk offs at? They're not here no more. So, let's do something, and then all of a sudden they start breeding. So, I used to never cull or selectively breed, but because to me, all shrimp are super pretty, but I do it now because it helps the continuation of the breeding. It'll kick it back in. So, I try to have sales and sell it to people cheap, dirt cheap. Hey,
I'm happy.
Red pintos, and I'll have a stream and no one jumps on them. So I take them to the fish store. Yesterday he called me. He's like, hey, I need 25 of your finest selectively picked fish bones. I said, okay. And, I took him a big order.
I've been in this situation and I've talked about it a couple times. When the fish store calls you, know you're doing something right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's, I got lucky with him. He's a really, really good dude. He's been in the business a long time, but I don't know. I got lucky and I deal with another store too, but it's once in a blue moon and they do call. But see, I'm different. So I go in there and I say, well, this is how much I want. Because usually if someone just walks in off the street, everyone knows this really, but not everybody. But if you go,
they're going to give you next to nothing.
They're going to give you a third or a little less. If you don't know what your stuff is worth, like if your fish is worth $5, they're going to try to give you $1 and then resell it for $5. But the thing is you could say, well, no, I want more and give me store credit. I don't want cash. I mean, if I'm bringing something in and giving it to you and it's only worth the cock or the cricket that's walking on the floor, we got a problem here. Right. And then they say, oh, well, freshwater, we have to make a 3 times profit on it to keep the lights on. Well, no, you really don't. I mean, if I sell you a fish that you can sell for $100 and I want 50,
I go for half. I won't. Back when I was breeding, I'm not breeding anything anymore, which is kind of funny because I still have pet stores calling me, especially 2 of them in Chicago. For some reason, don't understand that I'm not breeding anything right now. But when I went for half. And I preferred cash. My local closest store, I went ahead and said, okay, I'll take store credit because I'm always in there. But all the other ones, I want cash and I want half. So if you're going to sell it for $5, I want $2.50.
Right.
And I think that's just fair.
It is. But I mean, it's not like you're walking in there with, well, I could say this: if you walk in there with a bucket full of 100 guppies, it's going to take someone quite a long time to sell 100 guppies. So that's where you'd be a little more flexible on the price and be like, okay, it's going to take your water, your tanks, your electricity to keep these guys rolling. But like I just took 4 very large fish in there, stuck them in his back tank, and I don't leave with no money. And he actually has another one. I got a big, huge.
You're just selling on commission.
Well, here's the thing: is here in Michigan, well, at least where I'm living, fish are hard to get, and the hobby is taking off, and it's such at a high peak right now that every kid that wanted a big tank with big fish has now said, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna do my hobby. Well, they sucked up every big fish that there is. And all those people that would grow fish and go, oh, it's too big, I don't want it no more, they take it to the store and sell it. It's very, very, very hard to come by anyone that's doing that anymore. So If you bring in big fish, they're worth a very good amount of money. So I took in 4 big fish. I was there yesterday. Actually, one of it, I had a big, it was an albino, it was a pink Jack Dempsey. That one's gone. So I have 2 Monte Carlos and a Waru still there. I mean, they're really big fish. It's just that person hasn't walked in yet to buy them. So as they sell, he gives me half of what they sell. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Right. But the thing is like with my shrimp, I go into these stores and I just tell them, look, I'm a business. I'm not just a hobbyist, so I have to get a certain amount of money. I'm not coming in here for store credit. I'm coming in here to pay my electric bills, and
exactly. I've always demanded cash. Right. With the one exception of one store, I want cash.
Right. I'll take some store credit, but if you're going to give me store credit, it's got to be more than the amount of cash.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Because here's the thing. This is what I try to, and I totally understand this, but the thing is I try to break it down, and I do this just to get the best deal. Okay, look, if they buy, let's say this can of no planaria. If they buy this can of no planaria for $1.50 and then sell it for $15, that's a huge markup.
That's incredible.
Now, if I bring fish in and you give me half in store credit, you're still selling this to me as $15, so I'm paying
exactly
markup, and I'm not getting nothing because you gave me half of what the fish is worth, and now I have to pay your huge markup.
Right.
So I'm losing both ways. I'm only getting half of what the fish is worth, which is understandable, but you want to charge me full markup on the product that I'm buying with my store credit. So really the fish, I just sold it to you for like $1 because you're robbing me on this and you're not giving me the deal. That, that's how I look at it. If I have store credit, it's because I have something that you want and you have something that I want. So we should meet in the middle.
Exactly. Sell it to me at cost, at least.
Right. I mean, you want to sell it to me at $7? Cool. I won't tell nobody. We'll leave. But when it comes to that, so that's when I walked in and I said, okay, look, this is the way I look at things. How do you guys look at things? These are the things that I would like. How do you feel about this? We could talk it out. And they're like, no, we're good with it. Because the thing is when they can order shrimp from where they order from, and there's only 3 types of shrimp available, and they're always sold out. And they have customers that come in and they'll give them 20 shrimp at 10 cents a piece or whatever, and when they don't have nothing, and I'm the guy who breeds them, now they they'll say, okay, well, but here's the thing is I'm just not that guy that you could call when your customers are out and when your store's out. You can't just call me and go, well, okay, we'll buy them now. So that's the level of respect we have, is I'm the guy who sells shrimp, so I ask for this amount of money. And this is if you're going to use me every day, then I need this.
I 100% agree. Look, your local fish shop is not going to, oh God, how do I want to say this? Once you reach the point where they're calling you, then you can kind of set your own thing, where you can say, look, I'm not selling these to you unless I get half of what you're going to sell them for.
Yeah.
And I want cash.
Well, and the thing is
if you go into that store for the first time, for all you, for people that are breeding things for the first time, you have to get yourself known first.
Right. You got to be nice.
So you're going to lose some money to begin with.
Yeah, you got to just kind of give them to them. Be like, here.
Yeah.
Give me $5. You give them $40 worth of fish, but you're like, here, if you guys like these and they sell good, here's my number.
I went through in one day when I first started breeding angelfish, and I had a bunch, and I was like, God, I got to get rid of these angelfish. And they were at a sellable size. I mean, these doggone things were... They were well ready to be sold. I went to like 10 stores and just gave them 5 angelfish each and said, just let me know if you sell them. If you want more, call me.
Yeah.
And they called me.
Well, see, and the thing is, too, it's quality.
Exactly.
Quality above quantity.
You gotta, honest to God, that is so true, dude. That's man. If anybody can breed stuff, but if you're breeding stuff that has genetic issues or just issues in general, they don't even have to be genetic. It could be poor water quality issues, whatever. You're not going to make a name for yourself,
right? Well, it's not just you. I mean, think about this. If you're hauling stuff to the store and he's buying your stuff, quality stuff, and it's selling enough to where he continues to buy off of you, and he's not just buying off of you, but let's say he's got 6 other people that he buys angels from, Coracat from, this and that from. He's bringing in all this high-quality homebred stuff that you can't get anywhere else. You can't order it from Florida. It's not homebred. They're breeding it down there in whatever they can breed it in. They got pop bottles floating in the ocean with fresh water in it just to breed whatever. There's so, but these people are bringing it from their homes. They're all loved, and here you go. They're in nice containers. And so you're making his store look good because everyone that comes in there and shops is like, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff he's got. This stuff is great. And so it makes him, it makes his stars go up when people rate him on a 1 to 5 scale because of the type of quality that he keeps also. So a store owner, he may not make as much off of your product, but he's able to stock his store with products that he typically wouldn't be able to if he just bought from all these other people that imported all this,
They know, they see the difference.
For sure.
Trust me, I've been in the industry for a long time. I've worked in a fish room, a retail fish room. And you will see the difference when stuff is coming from a commercial venture versus, like you're saying, the home breeder.
Right.
You're gonna see a difference. Absolutely, 100%. You'll see it.
Oh yeah.
I will say this though: if you put out, if you put out something that is less than standard, they're going to know it right away and nobody's going to deal with you afterwards.
For sure. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you fix the problem and, you got good quality stuff. It doesn't matter. Once your name is ruined, your name is ruined. You don't really want to go there.
Whether you have good quality or not. Now, look. Accidents can happen. Shipping accidents can happen. You could put sick fish in a bag by accident. That can happen. But I'm just going off an idea that just popped in my head with you bringing that up. If you bring an order of fish to a store, let's say 25 angels, and they're all sick, and then you fix the problem.
That store's never going to call you again.
Right, because those 25 angels shouldn't have been sick. Maybe one dies within a couple days, but none of those fish should be dying, and you're like, but wait a minute, it's an accident. Well, no, your stuff at home isn't dialed in the way it should be, but here's the thing. Do I take a chance with you again? Customers.
They're not going to. I can tell you right now, they're not going to.
Yeah, because like my buddy gets guppies from Florida, and he gets them, puts them in his tank, and just so many. He's like, man, Brian, I don't know. He's like, guppies never live. Guppies never live. So now I got an order coming to a store tomorrow. It's the Shelleys and the bluegrass guppies or whatever. Those are all coming to a store tomorrow. So he'll be able to fill those in and get, higher quality guppies and stuff that way. So for right now, you got 12 male, 12 female of the same guppies. And then I'm going to say this wrong, but they're Neolamprologus male fasciitis or something. The
Neolamprologus fasciitis is a really cool fish.
Yeah, you got 25 or 50 of those. 25, yeah, I think. And he said, let me see them. And if they're to my standards, then I'll order a whole bunch. So they're being shipped tomorrow. Yeah, but they're from, if anyone wants to contact them, I don't try to keep a secret because I would rather more people contact them if they want it, but it's Pumpkin King that comes on the stream that supports us so well. He breeds stuff, he keeps stuff, but it breeds. And then, where he lives, there's not really places that, want to take it and give him anything for it. So he's like, hey, I'll send all this stuff up there, have him give me, the price that he finds acceptable, and then give it to you, and I'm buying shrimp with it. Okay. So that's how he's buying shrimp. So, and his wife works somewhere where they can more or less get shipping for free, overnight it for free. So they'll be sending it out today, overnight it, and he'll get it tomorrow morning. So, but yeah, if you guys are looking for Shelleys or any of those bluegrass guppies. I'm not sure of the name, but they're the bluegrass. He's got them, and he's got a lot of them. So I'm sure you could get an incredible deal.
Who's
right on?
beeping?
That's me. I'm taking pictures.
I thought so. It sounded like a camera.
Yeah, Neil Lamprologus. Yeah, okay, I was a little off. Multifasciitis. Yep. Well, here's the bad thing. I need to get off of here.
Yeah, you gotta ship me my freaking
I do.
shrimp.
I got till 6 o'clock. It's 6:30, but I got 4 hours to get the orders done, get them wrapped up, get them up to UPS, and get them out. So as much as I love, I mean, we had up to 23 viewers.
Yeah, right on.
It was super cool. Yep. I appreciate everything, but I need to hop off of here to get these packages wrapped up. And like I said, I just want to say thanks to everyone who made this all happen and participated, and all my subscribers and the fish and shrimp fam, just the hobby, everybody in the hobby. It's just, it's a lot of fun. Oh, quickly. I did say yesterday that I'm going to do some live feedings with the Gulper Cat, which I am. When I went to the store yesterday to get more of those little fat, chubby goldfish with the fancy tails, I asked my buddy, I said, how much are these things anyways? I said, I'll get a lot of them. He's like, oh, they're $10. I was like, what? They're like 1.5 inches long. He's like, yeah. I said, why are they so much? He said, because they got fancy tails. I said, you charged me $10 a fish the other day? He's like, no, I charged you $5. I was like, what? So yesterday, I said, okay, give me one. And I got a small, he's like, you feed them crayfish yet? I was like, no. So he gave me a real small crayfish. I threw the crayfish in there yesterday. His tummy's not full yet. But so those fish are $10 a piece. My wife said, geez, you're feeding that thing steak already?
You guys, you don't understand how incredibly expensive the goldfish hobby can be.
Right, but the thing is the feeder goldfish are too fast, but those little fat ones, they're all do. And next thing you know, he's like, hey, and they swim by his head, and he's like, oh. But them fast ones, he's like, what the? I can't, he loses weight so fast chasing them around. He's like, you know what? I'll just eat the ram's horn snails. And I'm like, God, his gut's so full of shells. I got to get him, I feed him the frozen tilapia and stuff. But yeah, so the live feedings are going to happen, but not so much with those fat goldfish. So, but we'll get one of them going here because his stomach is going down now. I like to every 4 to 5 days because, I don't want him just feeding up and his gut's huge, just because he's a gulper. You don't need to live up to your name. So, but just want to let you know that'll be coming here soon too. So, but thank you, Mr. Manifesto. Thank you, Terry, for hanging out and making this stream something and getting my, well, I'm just saying it's, I've been around a while, but getting people that, getting the cool kids. The cool kids in the school.
Well, you ain't got there yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got the degenerates now.
Yeah, you did not get the
whatever it is.
Trust me.
Whatever it is. I mean, I love listening to you guys. I love watching you guys. I mean, seriously, I watch you guys' stuff all the time. It's really funny. I sit up there with my wife, like earlier. My wife was listening to Mr. Manifesto talk about the gun thing, and she's just smiling, shaking her head because Jess is like,
she's smiling. What an idiot.
Or somebody said on there, they said male, flexing their muscles or something,
Macho,
and my wife's just smiling, shaking her head, and I was like, yep, it's us guys doing this stuff. But she doesn't listen to the streams, and I told her, I said, maybe we could. Set up something to where you're on a camera and I'm on a camera because that seems to do well in a lot of streams. And, my wife was in the military and so it fits well with our theme, so, but yeah, I just want to say thanks to you guys because like I said, I do love watching everything that you guys are on and I appreciate coming on here and
thanks for having
me. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I will say fare well for a little
and
while.
I can't wait till my shrimp get here.
Well, I'll send you your number here in a little while. Once I send all the numbers out, so I'll. If you want to message me your phone number, and I can send it right to your phone number. If not, then I'll send it to your email.
Yeah,
whatever's easiest for you. Okay, I'll just watch your email. I'll send it to your email.
I'm just a normal customer, man.
Hey, it's all right. Hey, people call me. So, I mean, like I said, if you friend request me on Facebook, I'll accept it. And my number's on there.
What is your Facebook account?
DetroitShrimpAquatics.com. Or
I think we might actually be friends already. Actually.
Yeah, Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics, yep.
Terry tends to not remember who he's friends
Yeah, I
with.
can't remember shit.
It's a two-part. So I have my regular Facebook, and it's connected right to Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics. So if you message anything, it'll go off, and then I hit the button, and it shows me my name, and then Detroit Shrimp Aquatics. I touch that, and it bloop, takes me to that page and whatever you put on there. But all my info is on there. That's why I tell people, you call me, leave a message, do whatever. If I don't notice the number, I won't answer it. But if you leave a message, I'll call you right back.
I gotta say this, Brian. I haven't been excited about a new thing in the aquarium hobby for a really long time.
Hey, this is no bullcrap.
I am excited. I really am. I'm like on pins and needles waiting for those
my buddy at the
things.
store had no shrimp, had nothing when I brought it up to him. I said, look, I'm going to put together a store at the house. Maybe one day we can get something going here at the store to where you'll sell them, but it'll be my products. So I just brought him in one day, and he's like, all right, that's it. He sells I don't know what brand it is. It's the 5-gallon, the long, like the Fluval, but it's not, and they're glass and they're curved, but they're really nice. But he sells those. Aqueon? Yeah, the Aqueons. So he's got the metal end caps, and he's like, all right, just start loading them up there, and put a real big Aqueon in the center with all the funky angles, and then slap my sticker on it. And he sells all the food, the water stuff, everything. And he just got a big poster by Chris Lukop up there that we blew up. And he's like, I haven't been so happy about something in so long. I was like, see, smile to your face too. So that's good. I like to see people at least try it, or I really get excited when they get excited about having shrimps.
Heck yeah.
Because
I just hope I don't screw it up. That's my biggest fear is I'm going to screw this up.
Drip them real slow. Make sure the temperature, that's the biggest thing, because you want your tank's going to be at least 82. So check when you take them out of the bag and put them in a little bucket or your catch cup or whatever, check the temperature. And you got to you want the temps to be the same. Don't shock these guys. They're not Neos. You can't just go, Sue, and they'll be great, So
I can't plop and drop is what
No. You don't plop and drop unless the only time you plop and drop with the shrimp is if, like, let's say you wanted 25 fire reds and I sent it in a big bag and one of them died and the water's a little cloudy. You're going to dump them into a net and then rinse it off and then put them all in the tank. So they're out of that water. Because you ask yourself, well, do I leave them in the water with a ton of ammonia and drip new water in there? Or do I just get them out and get them into fresh water now? You just want them in your tank water now. Well, Sulawesi, it's the warmth. So make sure the temperature's good. Check the TDS in my water. And make your TDS the same as the TDS that's in this bag or close. And then just drip it. Make sure your temperatures are the same.
The last time I checked that tank, it was 235. And
right. Hold on, I'll check this. This is 2 something. I know it always rides 2 something. Even though I refill it with 180, it always rides higher, which is fine. They thrive. Yep. Oh, we got dead battery. Oh, no, there it is. $213. Yep, $213.
That's not too far off.
No, so just get your water. 210, 210, 215, and then just have it at 82. This is This is It's 84. It's 84 degree. I don't have the air.
Actually, it was 84, and I turned the heater down. Where's my thermometer? I gotta find my thermometer. It's around here somewhere.
Yeah, 82 to 84, and always make sure with these guys you always have a backup heater. It doesn't have to be in there plugged in, plugged in or anything.
I have a 5-gallon bucket that's got like 25 heaters in it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying because, you can always put another heater, a backup heater, let's say in a tank, and turn it on to
keep it a degree lower than the main heater.
Or even 2 degrees, let's say 80. And if that one ever breaks, then that one will kick on. If not, it'll never ever kick on. But that way, if it was to not work overnight, you're not going to lose them because they don't like
the room down here right now is 82 degrees.
Okay. Yeah, that's you. Well, mine, I get the air running upstairs, so it's 76. And I have all the air shut. There's no air that all the vents are shut off, and it's still icy cold down here. But yeah, that's all. So check the water in your tank and in the bag. Check the temperatures of both. The pH. You want the pH. You're gonna drip it in anyway. So
yeah, I know how to. I do know how to drip acclimate.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I know you do.
Yeah,
but there's only there's just a few things you really want to pay attention to. That's all. But no matter what it is, if the pH is lower in my water, that's really good. That's fine. You can come down with shrimp and not be worried. But going up quickly is a no-no. Down is good, up is bad. So you always got to remember that.
My pH, we talked about it before. My pH runs between 8 and 8.4, 8.5.
Right. And I don't know what it is in here. It could be low, because I use a pH up. So when I do my water changes, I put it in at like 180 or at 82, 84, where it's purple. And I just put it, run it right into the tank. So I don't have that, that perfect water like you do. So I have to add that.
My water is far from perfect.
Well, you know what I mean with the pH and to get
what is it with fish keepers? If you have hard water, you want soft water stuff. And if you have soft water, you want hard water stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's why my tank has all the crushed coral in it because I need it to help keep the pH up and the Sulawesi salt because I don't have that pH. So that's why I use the booster, which works, but it might not be that high in the tank. But I don't worry about that because every time I do a water change, I make sure the pH is high in the brand new water, and I only do a little. It's not like I'm taking out 50%. If I take a gallon out, I put a gallon back. I'm just lifting that pH up, trying to keep that pH up. But
Chevy Fish is asking if your Sulawesi shrimp are eating anything besides biofilm and algae.
Yeah, they eat. They love green beans. I feed them. Robbie's food, the Sapphire that I sell. I feed them the Mucha food. I feed them my powder food. That's what they really go nuts for is because when I sprinkle it in there, it goes all over the rock, the lava rock and stuff and gets all attached and then they're all over it. But I feed them, Pleco wafers, because see, I have the rabbit snails in there. So I have to feed the rabbit snails. Because it helps them say, okay, well, there's enough food in here for my babies to grow, so they'll have babies. So I have to feed those, and the rabbit and the shrimp come over. They'll eat all that stuff. They eat it all. But when I first got them, they didn't. So I kind of had to. I put some.
Yeah, they learned that that's food.
Well, I put neocaridina in there because I read that it's kind of like they trained them. They showed them, hey, this is food. other than that crap you eat on the rocks. Come over here and get the good.
This tastes better.
Right. So I probably left them in there for about 3 months, and I just scooped them out, put them back in their tanks, and they eat everything. So now when you get them, probably give them a couple days to relax, and then just let them eat off the rocks. Watch them go nuts.
Yeah, I got those. The rocks I put in that tank are over a year old in a tank. So,
and just make sure you have another light, an extra light on that tank.
I actually do. It's
okay,
the only tank that has its own light.
I didn't know if you had it on the rack and just like a 4-foot light was lighting.
I actually pay attention to what you say, man. That poor tank's got its own light.
All right, cool. Well, that's just to add that extra, But all right, work with what you got. Why make life harder than it is? Because it's fun.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly the way it works.
You can play doctor, scientist.
Yeah. People just want stuff they can't have.
Right. It's pretty cool. But all right, let me get off of here so I can start packaging.
Have a good one. I'll leave you alone, man, or else I'll keep you here all night.
I could sit here and talk all day. I have a knack for that. It's called I don't know, ADHD or something. But I need to get off here so I can take care of everyone's orders, and then I'll catch up with you guys this afternoon.
Right on, buddy.
All right,
thanks, man. See you.
Right. See ya.